You're scrolling through endless speaker options, trying to figure out which pair will actually sit on your bookshelf, blend into your living room and give you that immersive sound without you having to become a tech wizard. The fear of dropping a few $100 on something that sounds great on paper but falls flat when you fire up your favorite movie or playlist is real, and that's why today we're looking at a set that promises to be plug-and-play, high-performance, and ready for Atmos right out of the box. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's start with the basic question: do you need a speaker system that can double as a home theater centerpiece and a higher stereo hub? If you're the kind of person who watches Netflix on a big screen, enjoys a Sunday morning jazz session, and occasionally throws a gaming night with friends, the Klipsch the 9ii pair might fit that sweet spot. If, on the other hand, you're looking for a minimalist Bluetooth dongle that you can toss onto a nightstand and never think about again, you'll probably find this system a bit more involved than you bargained for. What makes these speakers stand out isn't just the Klipsch name, it's the whole package that Onkyo built into them. The units come with HDMI 2.1, which means you can hook them directly to a newer TV or a console and get a clean, lossless path for both video and audio. The Dolby Atmos support is a big draw because it lets you position sounds above you without needing a separate ceiling speaker. In practice, when I played a recent action film, the rain overhead and the subtle rustle of leaves really felt like they were happening around the room, not just from the left and right speakers. That's the kind of everyday immersion most people imagine when they hear Atmos, and the 9ii actually deliver it without a separate subwoofer or upward-firing drivers. The Your Setup. Already set up tagline isn't just marketing fluff. The speakers arrive fully powered, so you don't need an external amp, and the wireless higher stereo capability lets you stream from a phone, tablet, or computer over Wi-Fi. I set one pair up in my home office, connected it to my router, and within a minute I was pulling tracks from Tidal in lossless format, noticing a clear separation between the instruments that my old bookshelf pair never gave me. For someone who values high-resolution audio but doesn't want to wrestle with cables, that convenience is a real time saver. Now, let's talk about the DIRAC Live Room Correction. It's a software algorithm that measures the acoustics of your space and tweaks the output to compensate for reflections, standing waves, and speaker placement. In my modest living room, the calibration took about 10 minutes using the included mic, and the result was a noticeable tightening of bass and a smoother mid-range. The catch? If you move the speakers after the calibration, you'll need to run the process again to maintain that sweet spot. So the system rewards a semi-permanent placement, which works well for a dedicated media room but might be a nuisance for renters who like to rearrange furniture often. Practical strengths, summed up, are the all-in-one design, the true Atmos experience without extra hardware, and the ability to stream high-resolution audio wirelessly. The built-in streaming also means you can skip an external receiver entirely, you just need a Wi-Fi network and a compatible app. That cuts down on clutter, and for a lot of users that's a compelling reason to consider the 9ii over a traditional 2-channel pair plus a receiver. On the downside, there are a few trade-offs to keep in mind. First, the speakers are fairly large for bookshelf units, thanks to the 8-inch woofers that give them punchy low end. If you have a tight shelf or a small TV stand, they might dominate the visual space. Second, while the HDMI 2.1 port is great for a TV, it also means you can't use the speakers as a simple Bluetooth stereo without a network connection. You'll need either Wi-Fi or a direct HDMI source. Third, the price point sits comfortably in the premium range. You're paying for the integration and brand reputation, so the value proposition hinges on actually using those features. If you never plan to watch Atmos-enabled content, you might be paying for a capability you'll never tap. Who should buy? If you already own a 4K TV, a decent Wi-Fi network, and you enjoy both movies and music, especially in lossless formats, these speakers give you a relatively straightforward route to a high-end experience. They also suit people who want to keep their setup tidy, no separate amp, no subwoofer cable jungle. On the other side, if you're a casual listener who mostly streams compressed tracks, have a small apartment with limited shelf space, or prefer a portable Bluetooth solution, you'll likely find a more appropriate, less expensive option elsewhere. In terms of long-term reliability, Klipsch's history of solid drivers combined with Onkyo circuitry suggests these units will hold up for years, provided you keep the ventilation clear. The